Hello, my friends. Jacob Israel is here again, and it's Tuesday, baby. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's the day that follows Monday, the day before Wednesday. It's just another day. It's just another day. I got a show for you today. It's crazy what's going on there in China. Yeah, and I'm not just talking about the fact that you're being spied on and there's a social credit system and it's out of control. I'm not talking about that. Talking about the fact that they're tinkering with things that they shouldn't be tinkering in. That's right. They just genetically engineered a baby. Yeah, and they published it. And we know that it's been going on for a long time. We know that they're super soldier programs. I've done shows on this before. But the fact that it's blatantly out there now, it's in a research paper, has a lot of people up in arms. And I think when we get through with the show today, you yourself may be a little concerned. Maybe not. I don't know. Designer babies, it's all the rage in China right now. Maybe that's why there was just some crazy sandstorm, like 100 meters high and like 60 kilometers an hour, just came in the city of Jiangxi and just overtook them. It was crazy. Some kind of an apocalyptic movie, but there's nothing going on here, nothing to see here. Today's program is going to be an interesting one. Do you know that it's been making the rounds? I got a couple of comments. They're like, are you going to talk about the fact that Adam and Eve, it's a real thing? Like the Genesis story, it's like a real thing that we're all descendants of like a male and a female? Come on, people, it's Tuesday, so you better be buckled up. Let's first talk about the tinkering that is going on with the human genome. You've heard of the CRISPR system, right? Okay, so for those of you that don't know much about this stuff, we have this thing, it's called DNA, and it's kind of like a program. It's like a computer program. You have little things that you can check on and check off. Little things, get you the blue eyes, the brown eyes, the brown hair, the blonde hair, stuff like that. You're tall, you're strong, little things, you check them off. But there's also things that you can do to eradicate disease, eradicate HIV, make you HIV resistant, make you polio resistant, make you anything resistant, make you a super soldier who can breathe underwater. I just added that in there. I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure they're working on it. So the CRISPR system is a powerful genetic engineering tool. It's been going on for a long time. They're genetically engineering food. It's going to be hitting the shelves. It already is hitting the shelves, but it's going to be on like a major global thing here. And thanks to Obama, we don't know. You have to go in. There's a little barcode. So if you want to know if something's genetically modified, it doesn't just say GMO on there or non-GMO, which you would hope that most companies would do. There's a barcode. You got to scan it to find out whether or not that your food's been tinkered with. If you got Frankenwheat, that's because Frankenwheat's been around for a long time. I don't even want to get into Cheerios, the fact that I love Cheerios and I had it for so long, we give it to our babies and that they spray it with glyphosate and it's like a carcinogen. It's terrible. Let's get back on topic, Jacob, okay? Let's get back on topic.
He's always doing it. I don't understand. He's going from here. He's like boing, 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 boing. What is he, drinking sake again?
No, that was one time. It was one time, and I'm not doing that. So let's get into this. In China, okay? Chinese researchers first edited the genes of a human embryo back in like 2015 in the lab, and it caused a lot of controversy. A lot of people said, can't do this. It's like Pandora's box once you open it. Putin even talked about this. He talked about the genetic engineering of like, you create these super soldiers that are, who's to say? You make them like Wolverine. They can heal themselves. They can. They don't feel any pain. I'm not saying that's happening, but I like comic books. Now, according to Chinese medical documents posted online this month, a team at South University of Science and Technology in Shenzhen has been recruiting couples in effort to create the first gene-edited babies. They plan to eliminate a gene called CCR5 in hopes of rendering the offspring resistant to HIV, smallpox, and cholera. The scientist behind the effort, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Forgive me for those of you who are Chinese. I am not. Okay, I'll try. He, Jin-ku, did not reply to a list of questions about whether the undertaking had produced a live birth. So we don't really know if there's a literal baby, but we know that it's been done. Okay, so that's kind of cool, right? So they can genetically modify babies. We already knew that was happening. But is this the future? Is this the future? Is this what we have to look forward to, right? As it is, right? So what's going to happen? The elite, they're going to pay. They're going to pay for their kids to get stronger, faster, smarter, blah, blah, blah. And the people that don't have the money, they're going to have problems. They're going to be doing it the old-fashioned way. Thankfully, I think that something's on the horizon that's going to settle the score, even the playing field, get everybody on the same page, and it's coming. Probably the reason why they just sent another rover. They just landed on Mars again. Yeah, something going on in space. Space. But this sandstorm that hit China, it was kind of funny because I read about the tinkering of the babies, and then I read the sandstorm, and I'm like, coincidence? Probably not. But something that we should be interested in because this is happening a lot lately. Sandstorms are like popping up in weird areas. You know why? Because of drought, then you got massive flooding, and it's out of control. It's out of control, people. It's out of control. So you better get your house right. How do you do that? All you got to do is seek the truth. Teach me the truth no matter what the cost. Love the people that you're with. Be hopeful, be passionate, and understand that your faith creates. So if you think the worst, if you think that the world's going to blow up, it's going to blow up. Things are going to get more claustrophobic. The climate, it's going to get crazier, okay? The system right now, it's travailing in birth. It's going to happen. But if you're ready in your heart and in your spirit and in your mind and in your home, it's going to be okay. Because no matter what, this is an experience, people. In the grand scheme of things, this is not the end result. We're just on the road to kingdom where we reign and we rule and all that jazz. That's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool day. Okay, let's talk about Siberian unicorns. That's right. Speaking of the Bible. Because there's unicorns in the Bible. A lot of people say it's a Mandela effect. I personally, I remember a unicorn being in scripture from many, many years ago, reading it, but I always thought it was weird. Why would there be a unicorn? But they talk about the unicorn's strength and its prowess. Well, it turns out, I don't know if you heard about the Siberian unicorn that was discovered, and they just did some genetic testing on it. In DNA tests, they've shown that the 4-ton animal lived at the same time as modern humans. International team of paleontologists concluded that the Elastomorpharium Siberian rhinoceros
the unicorn,
widely referred to the Siberian unicorn, lived much later than previously expected and could have met our ancestors. Could have hung out with our ancestors. Maybe they rode the unicorns. Maybe they rode into battle, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Now, I did a program a little while ago about a massive study. I'm going to try to link it at the end of the show. Check this thing out, okay? Because it's funny how the people catch on to this stuff. The news, the media outlets, they catch on to this stuff like months after this stuff is published. Because you know what? Not many people are searching. I got a lot of time on my hand when I'm at work. So I do a lot of research. Because this is really what it's all about. Coming to you and telling you. Okay, so there was a astonishing discovery. And this is one of the most provocative and misunderstood studies that we have come to understand to date. Mark Stuckel at the Rockefeller University and David Thaler at the University of Basel reached this striking conclusion. And the conclusion was that, check this out, every animal, pretty much like 99% of the animals, every from humans to, they all appeared on the scene at the same time, okay? So much, remember I just did a show on evolution, so much for evolution again, right? I did programs on this already. You got to watch the show. I go into it more in detail. But they're catching on to the fact that we all share a common link to a male and a female, an Adam and Eve, according to Fox. All humans alive today are the offspring of a common father and a mother, and Adam and Eve, who walked the planet 100 to 200,000 years ago, which by evolutionary standards is like yesterday. It's crazy, right? Moreover, the same is true for 9 out of 10 animal species. We all kind of appeared on the scene at the same times after, get this, a huge cataclysmic event. Something like maybe, I don't know, Noah's flood, where everybody was wiped out and then started again. Common, weird, right? Because it seems like these stories, they kind of fit. I'm just saying, if you don't have faith, it's okay. If you don't believe in the Bible, it's okay. It's all right. But at some point, you got to understand that you're more than you know. At some point, you got to understand that there's you that's in this human body. This human body is going to die. It's going to die. But there's more to you. And there's more to this story. So if we all came from the same father and the mother, right? If we all came from a common parent lineage, how are you going to say we came from like amoebas to the lizards to the froggies to like the monkeys? Come on. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into how cool this actually is. Because if everything just appeared on the scene after some kind of a cataclysmic event, right? You like that? By analyzing the DNA barcodes, funny barcodes, of 5 million animals from 100,000 different species. They're all snippets of the DNA that resides outside the nuclei of all living cells. They're called mitochondrial DNA. The mitochondrial, that's the powerhouse of the cell. That's what my daughter Shiloh told me when I asked her what the nucleus was. She said, well, the nucleus is the most central part. It's very important. The mitochondrial is the powerhouse of the cell. So which mothers they pass down from generation to generation to generation to generation. So this DNA has been passed down and we all have it. We're all related. So you'd think that we start looking at each other like brothers and sisters, right? Like mothers and fathers, like we're related, and we stop being so mean to each other. We'd stop turning a blind eye when terrible things happen. We'd stop electing corrupt, powerful leaders that just only want to take advantage of us more. We'd stop turning a blind eye. And if we had more than we needed, we would give to those that needed more. See? Because in the grand scheme of things, you can't take it with you. The funny thing is, the people that are living high in a hog and they're not thinking about anybody else that has a need, and the people that are taking advantage of other people, the people that are living very selfishly, very egotistically, very carnally, very devilishly, those people, there is this thing called reaping and sowing. Whatever you put out into the world, you get back in return. So it doesn't matter how many genes you switch on and you switch off with these little baby designer babies that are going to be now marketed. Because it's not too far off. You know, if this technology is available, you don't think that there's already black market babies going on, this little gene editing? You don't think people are paying millions of dollars so that their child can have every single advantage over everyone else? I am sure that there are black market programs going on right now. All right? I'm sure that there are black ops programs where the super soldiers are now being bred, and my goodness. And then you want to and then you add to the equations, you get these super babies, right? You get the super babies that become the supermen, and then you add to the equation, the neural lace that Elon Musk and all those clowns are working on, trying so that we can, interface with the This is our life. This is the coolest show on earth. And I hope that you're being present, because guess what? We're the heroes of the story. And how are we the heroes of the story? Because we are here to love. And we are here to understand that all of the natural things, all of these little things, the gene editing, the this, that, and the other, none of that stuff matters. Because we got the best power within us already. It's called faith. And when you understand who you are and when you understand where you came from and where we're all going, and you wake up to the truth that is within you all, as Christ in you, it's the hope of glory, the hope of understanding the hidden mystery. Scripture says it's the glory of God to conceal a thing. The hope of glory is understanding the truth that has been hidden in these jars of clay. We're more than you know. You're more than you know. You're more than you know. You are all awesome. And I love every single one of you. And you know what? You don't need to be editing your babies. And you don't need to be freaking out over what's going to happen in the future days, because in the grand scheme of things, we're experiencing this. Think of this like a really cool VR game where the consequences have spiritual and everlasting effects. Play the game right. Be the hero. Love. Help those that are in need. That was it. That was it. That's all you got to do. You got to love. And if you love, you win. And if you love, you forgive. And if you love, you have peace and you have joy. And you, my friends, don't need to be edited because you are beautiful. And I love each and every one of you, and I hope you do subscribe. Hope you share it around. Hope you tell your friends. Make the video go viral. I don't know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.